Sarvamyapanishadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. For Srimad Bhagavatam prayers. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayet shrinvatam swakatha krishna punyashravana kirtana hridayantosto hi bhadrani vidunoti shuhatsatam नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Vishwabadaya Krishna Sabadeshite Ramapasanti Namine. So Hare Krishna devotees, I'm seeking all of your blessings to say a few words that I've prepared today, which are beneficial definitely for me in preparing for this class, but also maybe something I can share with you from what I have learned. So we will start with the verse. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 13, Text 12. Iti yukta dharma rajena sarvam tat samavarnayat yathanubhutam kramasho vina yadu kulakshayam. Synonyms, word-to-word translation. Iti, thus. Yukta, being as. Dharma Rajena, by King Yudhishthira. Sarvam, all. Tat, that. Samavarnayat, properly described. Yatha anubhutam, as he experienced. Kramasha, one after another. Vina, without. Yadu kulakshayam, annihilation of the Yadu dynasty. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Thus being questioned by Maharaj Yudhishthira, Mahatma Vidura gradually described everything he had personally experienced except news of the annihilation of the Yadu dynasty. No purport. Text 13. Nanva apriyam durvishaham ranam swayam upastitam navedayat sakaruno dukhitan drashtum akshamaha. Word-to-word translation. Nanu, as a matter of fact, apriyam, unpalatable, durvishaham, unbearable, nranam, of humankind, swayam, in its own way. Upastataham, appearance, na, did not, avedayat, expressed, sa karunaha, compassionate, dukhitan, distressed, drashtum, to see, akshamaha, unable. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Compassionate Mahatma Vidura could not stand to see the Pandavas distressed at any time. Therefore, he did not disclose this unpalatable and unbearable incident because calamities come of their own accord. Purport. According to Niti Shastra, civic laws, one should not speak an unpalatable truth to cause distress to others. Distress comes upon us in its own way by the laws of nature. So one should not aggravate it by propaganda. For a compassionate soul like Vidura, especially in his dealings with the beloved Pandavas, it was almost impossible to disclose an unpalatable piece of news like the annihilation of the Yadu dynasty. Therefore, he purposely refrained from it. So this is Prabhupada has given a short lecture on this, and just what I've gathered from Prabhupada, where he spoke about this source, I would like to share that. So in the translation, it says that thus being questioned by Maharaj Yudhishthira, Mahatma Vidura gradually described everything that he had personally experienced except the news of the annihilation of the Yadu dynasty. So this Yadu Kulakshayam, this Yadu dynasty, when Krishna was present, the family members he had 16,108 wives, and each wife had 10 children, and then those children begot another 10 children. So the family members were like in millions, 10 millions, Prabhupada is saying in the lecture. So it was a big, very big family, and they were destroyed. So there are two comments on this point, why Yadukula was destroyed by Krishna's plan. So one comment is that if they would continue to live, then the same misconception that a Brahmana is born in the Brahmana family, they would continue to speak that because we are born in God's family, we are also God's. We're born in Krishna's family, who's the Supreme Lord, and therefore we're also God's. And then, that would obviously create problem. And Prabhupada gave an example of how there was this Nityananda Vamsa, descendants of Lord Nityananda, how they were calling themselves and trying to be authoritative and saying, because we're part of them, we should be given respect. Everybody should follow us. So Krishna didn't want that to happen. And another comment is that all these members of Yadukula, they appeared in the dynasty just to enhance the opulence of Krishna. So all these different demigods, they came from heavenly planets to help Krishna in his incarnation. And just like a big man, or we can see a president, when they go somewhere, or a king, it's very opulent. They go with many of their secretaries and helpers and commanders and companions. So this Yadukula was just like that. They came to help Krishna in his Leela and his pastimes in this material world. So some of them were born as sons of Krishna, some were grandsons, some were great-grandson, and Krishna did not want to leave them behind. So Krishna was planning to go back to his Krishna Loka. He did not want all of them to also remain here, and they had to go back. So when they come in this material world, and when they have to leave, it has to be the means of death here, just the way it works in the material world. So it would be unnatural for them to depart in any other way. And who can kill them, right? Prabhupada is saying, who can kill them? They're, they're Krishna's family. Nobody can kill them. So there's no power in the whole world that could kill them. So Krishna planned that they should be killed amongst themselves. And very important lesson for us from this is that if we fight amongst ourselves, then even if we belong to Krishna's family, we will be ruined. And this is the instance of Yadukula. Although they belong to Krishna's family, and because they fought amongst themselves, they were all vanquished, they were all gone. So on this, when I read this, similarly, I was thinking Srila Prabhupada has also left us with this instruction to cooperate with each other, this point of unity in diversity. He said that, or your love for me will be shown by how well you cooperate with each other to keep pressing this movement going, even after I depart this world. So we can, we all understand that we're all individuals with our own personalities, our own, thinking pattern, our own thoughts. But when we come together, especially to do anything for Krishna's service, we should try to understand from other persons, what they're trying to say, express what we need to say in a very respectful manner, so that way we can work together and serve Krishna in the best way possible. So I found some of the quotes by Srila Prabhupada that there are many quotes on this specific where he wanted us to cooperate, but here are some of them I would like to read. So this is from Srila Prabhupada to Upendra on August 6, 1970. Now all my disciples must work combinedly and with cooperation to spread the Sankirtan movement. If you cannot work together, then my work is stopped up. Our society is like one big family, and our relationships should be based on love and trust. We must give up the fighting spirit and use our intelligence to push ahead. This is from Srila Prabhupada to Malati Mathaji, January 7th, 1974. We have so much work to do. We cannot lose our solidarity. This is to Rameshwara Prabhu, April 10th, 1974. Let us try to work cooperatively. Otherwise, the fighting spirit will ruin our great movement. And this is to Patita Udharan. So, December 12, 1974. So we have to all cooperate amongst ourselves. Otherwise, what will people think if we ourselves fight with another? Doesn't give a good impression on other people. And this is a direct purport from Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.12. Everyone should be friendly for the service of the Lord. Everyone should praise another's service to the Lord and not be proud of his own service. This is the way of Vaishnava thinking, Vaikuntha thinking. There may be rivalries and apparent competition between servants in performing service, but in the Vaikuntha planets, the service of another servant is appreciated, not condemned. This is a Vaikuntha competition. There is no question of enmity between servants. Everyone should be allowed to render service to the Lord to his best ability, and everyone should appreciate the service of others. Such are the activities of Vaikuntha. Since everyone is a servant, everyone is on the same platform and is allowed to serve the Lord according to his ability. So that's a very important instruction, or that I captured from this Prabhupada's purport. Continuing with Yudhishthira Maharaj asking Vidura, So this end of Yadu dynasty was not a very palatable incident. And therefore, when Vidura was asked by Maharaj Yudhishthira about the family members of Yadukula, he did not describe it because they were very thickly related as family members. So it would be a great shock to the Pandavas that Yadukula, the descendants of Yadu dynasty, had been annihilated in a such unpalatable way. So this word, Prabhupada in there says this Vina means without the incidents, and then how Yadukula was destroyed by fighting amongst themselves. And he did not describe this because he did not like to also see that Pandavas would be sorry. And he had gone back after so many years, and they were receiving him so nicely at that time. And then Vidura did not want them to see aggrieved on the account of this incident. So, we can really see in one sense Vidura's compassion and a very thoughtful way of approaching this matter. So, it was a very sensitive information or very sensitive news. And then it would not have been pleasant to hear because as we, even in our worldly affairs, we can see when we're attached to our family members or close relatives, when they depart the world, it is, really an unbearable pain. So we can just imagine for Pandavas, for them, Krishna and this Yadu dynasty, that they were so thickly related, were their life and soul. So that could have been just a very quite devastating news for them. So also another point that I was capturing was this, we must consider this effect or speech that we have on the other person. And in that, Krishna has given us direct instruction from Bhagavad Gita 17:15. So the translation is, austerity of speech consists in speaking words that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and not agitating to others, and also in regularly reciting Vedic literature. Purport: one should not speak in such a way as to agitate the minds of others. Of course, when a teacher speaks, he can speak the truth for the instruction of his students. But such a teacher should not speak to those who are not his students if he will agitate their minds. This is penance as far as talking is concerned. Besides that, one should not talk nonsense. The process of speaking in spiritual circles is to say something upheld by the scriptures. One should at once quote from scriptural authority to back up what he's saying. At the same time, such talk should be very pleasurable to the ear. By such discussions, one may derive the highest benefit and elevate human society. There is a limitless stock of Vedic literature, and one should study this. This is called penance of speech. So this speaking tendency or this urge to speak, also Rupa Goswami describes a nectar of instruction in text 1, that it's a very strong, everybody wants to speak, everybody has something to say. But our speech should be in connection with speaking Krishna Katha. Speaking something in this is pleasurable. So this, it's almost speaking this pleasurable topic or just this austerity of speech. Prabhupada in the purport is saying this is a penance as far as talking is concerned. So it's almost like, I was thinking this word, in translation, professing austerity. So this is almost like an austerity to always speak truth in a palatable, pleasing, beneficial, respectful manner. Because oftentimes when we want to say something, I feel there are like, two spectrums of people. Somebody who has something, they're like, I just have to tell the truth and I'm just going to, speak it, and I'm just going to tell the other person how it is. And then on the other end, we have somebody who sees it, that something is wrong, but either they have a fear or they don't want to, they feel it's not their place, they won't say anything. So both of these, end of the spectrums, when people take these position, is not recommended. I was thinking, like, how can we apply this in more practical way in our life, this austerity of speech? And I found that this topic of empathic communication is very practical. It's where we want to speak what is in our heart in a very respectful manner, where we are considering our own feelings and needs, because as humans, we have that. And also at the same time, we're considering other person's feelings and needs. And according to that, we will approach the matter. So I found this book. Maybe some of you know it, but I've been reading this and trying to apply this. It's called this Realization of Realizing Our Empathic Nature Connected to Krishna. So if anybody is, would like to, I would highly recommend this book. It's by Bir Krishna Das Goswami, Srila Prabhupada's disciple. And I found, it's a very practical way to apply this verse and Vidura's, what Vidura was doing, how he was being sensitive to the Pandavas and breaking the news of destruction of Yadu dynasty. So those are some of the things that I captured when I read these purports. That's all I have prepared for today. So I will stop here and I will open it up for any comments, correction, addition. I'm sure there is so much more depth to this verse than what I've spoken. So if anybody would like to add something, I would please invite you to that.
Hare Krishna, and thank you very much, Govinda morning, Mataji, for your wonderful talk. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. What came to my mind was that we feel that sometimes, like on Vidura's part, he is withholding such an important information from them, and that to share that that urge is very strong in this, in our ordinary people's hearts. Oh, this is so important. It's like holding back the truth. So something like that, presses us to speak it out. I mean, I'm the first time I'm learning from Niti Shastra that if it is unpalatable, you should withhold that information. And thank you very much. That's all I have to say. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, I was also thinking that it's such an important news, and you would want to share it, but because it's given in our scriptures to, just and then Vidura knowing, all the scriptures that he did what was needed at that time. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Govinda Mohini. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept mine too. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you so much. It was really wonderful. Quite a enlivening message. Excuse me. yeah, oftentimes, like, in this chaotic, day-to-day schedule, we often forget of, focusing on what we are speaking, how we are speaking. Like it might be family members or, colleagues, so to speak, or devotees and all. Yeah, we try in our devotee world, I guess we know that, immediately that thing comes in our mind that, hey, like, take a step back, it's devotee. And then, but oftentimes we forget when we are out of devotee community. So yeah, that's very nice. And I'll keep it in my mind the whole day today and try to follow that. So thank you.
Sure, yeah. Thank you, Mathaji. Yeah, that's an important point when we're with the devotees, definitely, because, somehow when we go out of that circle, we may lose touch with this. But yeah, it's to be applied at all times in all circumstances.
Yeah, definitely. I'll take a name properly. I did write it down, but then, yeah, I'll double check with you about the book.
Yeah, maybe I can just put it here in this chat. Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I also heard that they may be giving classes at the GBC College on this topic, actually, on empathic communication. So if anybody is, interested in something along those lines, you can find that out. I think it's starting in May.
Danvat Pranam Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. It's a long time hearing from you. It was a crystal clear message. Definitely presentation was awesome. Always we hear about Srila Prabhupada telling cooperate each other. I was thinking, why did Srila Prabhupada talk to the disciples like that? Because they were all together anyway, right? But the cooperation, we might think that time will be cooperative. But I was thinking, like, if there is no cooperation, it is not just for his disciples, for the whole ISKCON world. If we are not cooperating each other, then we cannot progress in spiritual life. And rather, ISKCON as an organization, we have to be cooperative on one umbrella. That's very, as you said, the unity in diversity. I remember Rumbad Maharaj was telling, in a vase, if you have a bouquet, correct? If you have a different flowers with a different fragrance, if you all put together, that'll be very nice to see. That was stuck in my mind. So that has to be, so all devotees, all of us should be like that. So it will be colorful and it will be very nice to see. And then it'll give a, that cooperative nature is very important. Otherwise, there'll be always a disturbance. All flowers, all flowers are good, but if you all put it together, the varieties and colors, it'll be so nice. Similarly, we should have that. That's very important message. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, even there is a saying, right? United we stand, alone we fall, something like that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So definitely it's important. Okay, so if nothing is there, Lingaraja Prabhu, we can stop here.
Can you hear me, Mataji, now?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
I restarted. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhaya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.